Hello. My goodness, we are live. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching me from. It's your girl here, Rebecca. And today I've got a guest, a male guest. Can you believe it? Most people think this business is only for women. The last time we did a go live, there was a gentleman who wanted to know if this business was only for women. I said, no, it's for all genders. And because of that, I wanted to bring a guy here so that you know that this business is for all genders. So I've got a guest with me, a business owner with me all the way from Canada, and I'm going to bring him in to have a chat so that you will just know he will share his journey with us all and just bits tips here and there so you get to know more about our business. So I'm going to bring him in. So let's bring Kashif in. Hello, Kashif. Hello, how are you?
Hey, Rebecca, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. I know you are in Toronto, Canada, and it's 9 p.m. There it's 9 a.m. in Australia, Perth here. So thank you so much. Busy dad of three, but you still found time to meet up with me for a business chat. You know why I invited you here, Kashif? The last time I did a chat with one of my ladies, there was a gentleman who was asking, commenting, is this business for only ladies? Because every time he just sees ladies, doing advertising, promoting the business. So he wanted to know, is this business for only women? And I said, no, it's for all genders. And that is why I wanted to get a guy to come on my page for the men to know that this business is for all genders. So I'm so happy. I'm so happy to have you on. So
Honest,
I will not say, without talking so much, Kashif, I'll leave the floor to you. Please introduce yourself. Let them know you are a male doing this business. So
I'm,
over to you.
well, I'm happy to break that stereotype, everyone. Yeah, I'll get to it. So, good morning to everyone out in your part of the world, or good afternoon, and in my side, good evening, everybody. So, my name is Kashif Taqiyuddin. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I am a father of three. The three slightly older kids, two teenagers now, and by profession, I am a project manager, straddling both the IT world and the business world as well. But I've been in the corporate world for 22 years, so that's where my full-time space is, and I'm still doing that. But now I can say proudly, I'm also a digital business owner as well. So I've got the two going on along with me.
Wow. That's amazing. So, Kashif, you said you were a project manager before. You still do that? How do
Absolutely.
you still running that? Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your family? Like you were a family man, you are a husband, you are a father of three, like you said. How do you manage, your family and also doing work? We will not even talk about it. We will come to the digital business, but just the aspect of being a project manager and your family life. How do you balance that?
So it's actually very difficult, to tell you the truth. So for a long time, my job is actually very demanding, and so I manage a lot of people within my projects, and I'm in the office like from morning till night. So it really consumes a lot of time, and so how do I manage it? I manage it because I've got someone very supportive at home, that being my wife, who does. She's superwoman. She takes care of everything. She really does a great job, managing everything that needs to be there, and with the children. And
Yeah.
that's how I've gotten through with time. But that's not what I wanted in life, right? Like I want to be there with my children. I want to be there with the family. It's unfortunate, it was years back. I can tell you a bit of my story, but years back,
Yes, please do. Please do.
years back, again, working really, really long hours, and I was always looking for a solution. I was like, this can't be the way. I'm doing this corporate life. I'm very busy, and it almost felt like I was still going paycheck to paycheck. And I was like, really? I've got this great education, great job, and yet things are like this. This is not the way it should be. And I'm trying to do what I can to give my children a great life. Now, one of the parts that I was really frustrated with was the lack of time that I had for my family. As my children at that time, this I'll go back to even as far as 2014. They were very young, toddlers and so forth. And so people used to ask me, "How are your children doing? How are things going?" And I was like, "Oh, they're great. Are they growing?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're about this big now." So, and the reason I would speak like that is because every time I came home, they were asleep in bed, and I'd only see them horizontally. And when I left the house in the
Oh,
morning, they were still sleeping. So it would be mostly like weekends when I would get to see them. And so I was like, this has got to change.
that's
This is
right.
not the way. So thankfully, this was, going back now, maybe a good 6, 8 years, I did find a solution. Not a permanent solution, but I found a solution. And that is I left the full-time world. I left the world of being a salaried employee, but I became self-employed. And that was fantastic. Like financially, that gave me a lot of freedom. And I'm still blessed with it. But my time has been completely consumed. I'm even busier. And so that has been one of the challenges that I've had is like, how do I get my freedom of time back? And so that's where, I spent years looking for the right solution. And I've really, really explored a lot of things, but never satisfied because I never felt anything would give me what I need, until, of course, I came across this business.
Okay, so you came across this business. Can you tell us where you found this business, and why did you choose this particular one?
So let's okay. So very frankly, I saw an ad on Google, and what I was looking for was an online business. Now, there's other things I've considered before. I work in the financial industry, and so I'm very familiar with all sorts of things, especially stock trading. And so that's something that I can, as a side job or as a potential replacement income, I can do day trading. But I was like, no, that's high risk, and in the position that I'm in, that's not something I can afford to do. So I looked at all the different things with money trading and and crypto and everything else, and I said, no, this is not the solution, right? Real estate was not an option because you need a lot of capital for that. And honestly, if you have that kind of capital, you really don't need to be here on this call. And then so, so then, there are other things I looked at, even like Amazon Web Services and running a business. So I looked at things like that, or what do bloggers do, and how are people doing online courses and all these things. I explored it all, right? And I was like, what are they doing? How do they get it? Um, and then so I was looking for something for what I did know is that I can probably do an online business because I wanted something where I can travel, I can be somewhere else, I can be on vacation, and yet as long as I have access to a laptop, I should be able to do business, right? It doesn't matter where in the world I am at. So for me, logically, an online digital business was the right solution. But the question was what? And then I came across this ad on Google. I clicked it. I found people, all these individuals living the life that really I wanted, and they had found a solution. And so at that point, I was like, okay, they invited me to a webinar. I said, all right, I'll check it out. And once I did, I was like, oh my God, this is the one. This is it. As honestly, I was blown away. And I ended up watching several of those webinars. And each time I was, whoa, what's going on here, right? And it was different people that are presenting. And then I was like, okay, this is not taped. This is not, these are real people. And every time there's somebody new. And then I was like, okay, this has got to be the real deal. So that's what brought me here.
Okay, okay. I'm just acknowledging some people who are online with us. I've got Juliet Kingsley Ejekum watching from Illinois. Thank you. She said we are looking amazing. I've got Planet Kuma watching from New Zealand. Hello, Planet. Thank you for watching, joining us. I've got my own sister Nancy joining us all the way from Townsville, Queensland. Thank you so much for all your support. We really appreciate it. So thank you. We'll move on. So you have said why the digital business. You said so many things, and I'm like you as well. I search. I was doing. I'm actually a blogger, which I still blog. I still have a page on Facebook that I run, and I try to do everything like to get onto the online space. As a registered nurse, my background. I'm a registered nurse. I've worked for 13 years, and within the 13 years, It's just like, my God, is this how life really is going to be for me? Because looking back, like you said, you go, you come, every day is in a rush, it's in a rush, you know. Your life is always a rush. And I thought, no, I needed something that can be working for me so I can spend some time with my children, especially when it comes to working around rosters and things like that. Every time I have to beg my managers, please, my this son has this appointment or this activity at school, can you change? I'm always trying to beg people or my manager to change my rosters, and some they can't do that always. And so you know, in the 13 years of my nursing career, I've had to change jobs. Not because I didn't like where I was, but because they were not giving me shit that will help me as a family woman. So I kept moving from this job to this job. If they would give me shit that will help me, I moved there. And it was just too much for me at some point. In the 13 years, most people after 13 years of nursing will get like long service leave. I'm not eligible for that because of the different employees that I've had. You know, I started working from the UK, moved here, and so it's all scattered. So I said, no, if I have something online, then it will always go with me. I will always be able to do it anytime I want. And so I
Correct.
looked into Amazon as well. I was doing Amazon affiliate marketing. And that was why I created my page, page. I didn't even call it a business page, which is just a fun page. Then I did a website. But it was everything was to start from scratch. Everything, you know, the courses you buy, they will say they will support you, but you buy the course and you are on your own, trying
On
to
your
figure
own.
things out. And I'm thinking, I can't do this, you know.
I don't.
So I tried so
You
many.
can't do it. You don't have the time to do that.
No
Yeah.
time. I'm like, I'm looking for time, and you're giving me more work. This is not helping me. I want something that will just go. I always tell my husband, I want something that will just be working for me, that I wouldn't have to be there hands on all the time. You know, that is the only way I think I can make it because I've tried all these years. And I can't just balance children and all the work. So I went into Amazon as well. I tried drop shipping. In fact, I was trying how to write Kindle books to publish. I've tried so many things. So we have come far, you know. Not
Absolutely.
because we don't have jobs, but because we want freedom. We want our time to spend with our families, you know. So I'm so happy that you are a man and you took this, you know, opportunity as well to go into this digital business. So after you watched the webinar, what
Mhm.
was the next step? Or can you tell us a little bit about what the webinar is all about? Because some people still are skeptical, like they don't want to even put their details down to what the webinar. Can you tell us about our privacy policy and things like that? That even their information they put there is all protected. We don't use it for any other reason than to send them the webinars. So
So
can you
there,
tell us more?
yeah, and let me just declare it, right. Like there's definitely there's so many scams on the internet, right? I mean, we are no different than anyone who's listening to us right now. We obviously, are very skeptical as well and trying to avoid falling into anything that's just going to steal our money, right? Or anything that's outright useless. And so, you know, I think one of the key things is because I've worked in this financial industry and because of my position, one of the things I do very regularly in my job for everyone that's paying, right? Like everyone paying attention, everything, I have to evaluate risk
Yeah.
regularly every day. My job requires it, right? Anything we document it, we flag it, we monitor it, we make sure that nothing will potentially damage any of our projects and that nothing will make it derail. So in this case too, right? I carry that level of skepticism. Um, into anything I go and I make sure I do my due diligence, lots of research. So a few things, that privacy policy, right? I was like, oh, I don't want to give you my email address. I mean, I'm going to start getting ads from everywhere and all these like recruiters going to call me and, then, I'm going to get a phone call from someone sending, trying to, sell me, I mean,
Things.
trying to get duck cleaning going. Like, I was just like, come on. Right. But no, very clearly when I signed up, I read the private policy and it was very clear and they adhere to it. Your email address is going nowhere. Your information is going nowhere. It really is just used to go into the back system that they use to drive these webinars and to provide you with access. So you'll get that, and then it will help generate some emails that to provide you with information. That's all where your email is going, and that's really it. And at any point, then if you want to withdraw, like you can do that.
Okay. I'm going to acknowledge a few other people here. I've got my mentor and coach here. Hello, Carol says, thank you for joining us. And her husband is here as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, Genevieve. I can see you there too. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Okay. So can you tell us now, once you register on the website, what happens next? So you put your name, you put your email address on one of these websites that you were seeing. What
Yeah.
happened next when you did that? You saw the
So
ad, you put your name there. What happened
that's
after
right. So
that?
all I know is, I wanted to attend this webinar. So I entered my information, and surely enough, I got an email, from the person whose website I had visited. And so, they invited me with a link to, to go and attend the webinar. And I didn't even wait for that. There's a link to watch the replay of one that they already had. And so I just went
That's
in
right.
right away, and I did that. And yeah, so that was step one. But then, there's more, right? So
Mhm.
at that point, then it was a decision of, hey, if you really like what you saw, come and join the business, right? Pay your, your fee and jump in. So I didn't do that right away, but I continued watching more replays, and I was like, okay, let me just make sure, let me just see if this is real. And and I did a lot more research on the internet, like who are these guys and what's going on. So yeah, a few more replays and a few more webinars I watched, and then at that point I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm really satisfied. Now I'm clicking that button now.
Okay. So when you say you did a little more research and you found that they were good, so what like if someone is saying, how do I find out that these people are good? What did you do to find out that this is legit?
So a lot of things, right? One was, looking up the names of the business in terms of, what is it, who is it, where are they registered, um, what, are they, do they have anything written against them? What is it that they're potentially selling or doing? These are all types of things that, I looked into, compared that to other sites as well. Also, then had to pay attention to who's actually, leaving these comments on the internet, right? Because there are
Yes.
people who are running a competitive business who will try to tarnish one name so that they can promote their
Yes.
own. So these are all types of things I looked at. But ultimately, I trusted in what was being said, and what was out there. I think more importantly, though, it was the legitimacy of the people that were speaking, the
Yeah.
panelists in these webinars, and it was extremely authentic. And
Yeah.
so I was like, look, these are all different people. There's no way that this many people are coming together, right, to collectively, scam somebody, especially from different parts of the world. So I was like, no, this has got to be the real deal. So yeah, so that's when I decided, let me jump in.
Yeah, I'm happy you mentioned that when you get the replay and also the weekly webinars. When once you register, you get invites for those weekly webinars. You will notice that every week is someone different. Every week those presenting the webinars are different. So it's not like the same people and we haven't got anyone else. So for you to be thinking, oh, why is it the same person? So many people from different part of the world and they're all sharing different stories. So really you got to think, okay, I'm in the right place. So once you did that, you paid your 149. What does this 149 give you access to? Some people think that is what they need to start the business, but come on, even
No,
you start in what business in the world can you start with 149 US
I
dollars?
can't take
There's
a course. I can't take a course for $149. So
you can't.
no, come on.
So can you tell us more? What is this one for? What is that money for?
So yeah, so that was a good question, right? So I paid that 149, and they teach you that in the sort of in the webinar, what you do and what you may get. So I'll say a few things. What it does is gives you access to their private Facebook community. Okay, so that's step one, which for me was really important. You get 30 days to is once you pay that 149, you have 30 days to decide if you want to stay in the business or not. So in this case, once you get added to their private Facebook community, you have access to everyone, every single business owner that is in this community, or in this business. And so for me, that was, gold. And so I immediately started researching individuals, that were in this community, and seeing, okay, who are these people, where are these people, how many people are from my city, how many people are from my region, how many people are doing this, who's from where. Are there people from other countries? What are these people doing? And then I would go deeper into looking into, all these people's business pages, and then listening to stories and other things. And it's just more and more, I was just overwhelmed with what I saw. I was just absolutely impressed that, there was a point where I was just like, yeah, why am I wasting my time? Like, I'm, let's keep going. But let me also say that 149, if you decide to stay within that 30-day period, then what you're going to do is go through a coaching call, and that's really important too. There's all these back office systems. There's a lot of let me just say there's a lot of IT involved in driving this business that nobody is aware of. Lots and lots of different systems. The other thing too is you get assigned a coach, and so that 149 is for a coaching call, and behind the scenes, that's something that a coach, which is also a business owner, is taking time away from their own time of driving their business to help you. And so they're compensated, to a degree,
Yes.
for that coaching call. So that's really what that is. So that is, if you are really serious and now you like what you saw, let us give you more information so that you know how to get set up and how you can drive that. And the coach will explain all of that. So that's where, your 149 really is going.
Okay. So now you've made your 149 payment. You've told the viewers what this is for. It opens up, and gives them access to more information. And you get
Absolutely.
to join the group. And that is where you see amazing things, that you are not alone in that group. There are so many people from your country, from all over the world. And a group of over 110,000 members cannot be something that, is not legit, because there's so many people out there, thousands and thousands of people. So once you are there, you get that assurance that, oh, okay, I'm in the right place. Excuse me. And you get to excuse me, you get to go through, the groups, success stories, things like that. And it's 24/7. Even if you have any questions and you can't get to your mentor or coach, they are there to support you. Like, you can just ask anyone any question, whatever it relates to, and there will be someone there. It's like everyone is an expert in their field. There's so many
Absolutely.
experts in the group. So you feel like, oh, I'm not doing this alone. Anyway, so once you pay that money, you come into the group. What is the next step from there? Because I want you to walk through the steps for us. And also, like, once you know that, okay, this is something interesting, I want to do it, but I don't have any skills. What do I do? Do I need anything? Like, do people need anything to become business owners once you have come into the group, or even before you even decide to come in? Is there any requirement? Did you need anything? Did you have to pass anything?
Not
Any assessment?
so let's have everyone take a moment, pause, and whatever skills you have or whatever doubts you have with respect to the skills you have, just throw it out the window, because you don't need you don't need any skills whatsoever. A lot of people are looking at me like, well, and yes, I'm from IT, by the way. Let me just say that, right? But like, and from the corporate world, but and fine, I've got a computer degree, etc. Blah blah blah. But I'm telling you, you don't need to be tech savvy, because you might be thinking about the tech aspect, but meanwhile, I'm panicking when I first entered this, because I was like, I don't know anything about sales. I don't know anything about marketing. I don't know anything about social media. I'm not someone who goes out and openly presents to people and stuff like that. So I'm not looking from a tech perspective. I was looking at all these other soft skills, and I was like, I don't know what to do on digital media. I'm like, I don't even like taking pictures of myself. So I was like, I don't know what to do, right? Like, so I was like, is this the right place for me to be? And again, with everyone that I viewed, I've seen people. I don't even need to mention it. Name a field, name a career, and there are people with that background doing this. Nobody. It doesn't matter what it is. The experience is not required, because the training gives you everything you need. They give you access to this detailed, comprehensive training. It's all video based, step by step, and they just absolutely guide you through everything, and it's very clear. Follow the training, and it's just anyone can follow it. You just have to have competency in English, but that's where I'll stop. Other than that, that's all you need, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's so true, because as a nurse as well, I thought, oh, because I'm a nurse, I will be able to transfer some skills. Like, you don't even need nothing you have learned before. It might help you, but you don't even need those things because everything, like you said, is all trained. It's all in the package, the training package, and it's all video based, which I like so much because as you were watching, you were doing. And sometimes when people share their stories, on in the community group, you think like, are these people exaggerating or is it really real? And when I plugged into the system, I can't believe it. I told you I have already had a page before, and I was
Yeah.
even struggling to get to. I've had it for over 2 years now. Even to get people to even like the page was even something difficult. And to come here and to be taught how to do it correctly,
Yes.
plugging into the system and doing it, I can't believe I'm in business. Me and this, like, what business? I didn't have any business background. I had no IT. Well, no, I have a little bit of IT, but no marketing.
Yes.
Marketing. In fact, before you wouldn't even, I would not even allow you to put my picture on Facebook. I was that person. I wanted to keep things to myself. But now, like this course just trains you how to be safe on Facebook, how to put security things on, so you are confident to put things out there and you know what to do as well. And I started my business not long ago, but just the people liking the page. I'm so amazed how the system works. Like, I don't want to use the word magic, but I have to say magic. It works. It works. I've always told my mentor, this system we have is so amazing. It works. Because just doing that, I have now over 1,000 people liking my page. And I'm like, what? What happened? Like, what did I do? I don't even know where they are coming from.
And
And
let's add a disclaimer. That's 1,000 people you don't know.
I don't know them. I don't
Exactly.
know them. So I'm thinking, if all these people are just liking what we are doing because we are following the training, then of course they are all what potential clients. Because if you open a shop or if you have a business and your mind is to get only your family or people you'll be they will finish because you will have people it's only limited. They will all come and give you business, but at the end of the day, when you run out of them, then your business can die. But in this way, you are taught. I didn't even know what a lead is. I didn't know what
Yeah.
a lead is until
I didn't know all these terms. I was like, what is that, right?
what is that? So
Yeah.
when people say, "Oh, I've got so many leads," I'm thinking, "What is that?" So now I know a lead is someone who has shown interest. Like we all were leads before. You were a lead, I was a lead. So we were leads we showed interest in the business. And just doing this training, people are coming from all over the place. I'm even shocked. I told my mentor that, is this actually happening? This training is so real. I've got leads from everywhere, all over, because the business is global. So it's everywhere. So you don't have to go after friends, begging friends, oh, come and join me before you can earn. No. Can you talk about that? That is not about begging friends or anything. Our system is automated, and it helps attract clients to you. You don't have to go to them. They are going to work on your behalf, even when you're sleeping, when you're on holidays, when you are having fun with your family, anything, anytime, it's just working in the background. I just love it so much, but I
Yeah.
want to hear from you.
So that's and you hit one of the points there, which is so critical, and that is you don't have to go to people you know, right? So that's one of the things I was really, but I was like, oh great, I'm gonna have to knock on doors, I have to poke my friends, and and everyone's gonna slap me and like, oh, here comes Mr. MLM, and and whatever, and I was like, no, like you don't, that is not the way it works, right? And so it was very clear, like, no, this business is global, and it's on the internet, and only interested people will come to you. You don't have to go to anybody, and that was, at first I wasn't sure, and I was like, really? But when I was in the system and watching, I realized that's truly the case. You don't have to. And just to make sure that's clear, like, the audience that's watching us, you're on our business page, you're not on our personal Facebook page. So I know me, I've kept the two very private, and separated. So my business page has, it has my business audience and any potential leads and anybody else. And then my personal page, my personal Facebook, is just, me and my friends and family, right? They don't know that I have this business. I haven't gone to them. I haven't connected the two. And right now, that's a personal choice. And so I'm keeping it that way. But that's the point, right? I'm successfully driving and running this business now, without interfering or involving anybody, I personally know.
Yeah. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty. I just like this. I just like the automated system. Now, when we say automated, because on our business pages, excuse me, we advertise or we promote this business, and we say one of the main things is automated. Like I'm saying, you have to still do something for that automation to work. So
Yes, absolutely.
automation does not mean you just come in and sit down. In our own traditional work, we try and work, we do our best. But when it comes to building something for ourselves, we assume that, oh, we don't have to do anything. Can you tell us that you have to put some effort into it, even though it's automated? You still have to put
A-
some effort into it. Because if I don't
a-
do anything, how can all these people come to me? I have to follow the training and do
yeah.
something. So
So
tell us,
let's
automation
equate.
doesn't mean you don't do anything.
Yeah, well, let's equate this to running a franchise. So I'll pick McDonald's, right? So if you want to open up your own McDonald's, McDonald's will give you everything that you need to successfully run a business, right? They'll, everything in terms of how their entire operation works, to the marketing, and everything to setting up the shop. Everything will be done. Of course, you're paying this exuberant, startup fee to get in there. Of course you're going to make money if you actually continue to get in there, but they give you everything that you need. Now what does that mean? Does that mean now you walk into your restaurant, you sit down, and suddenly money's flying everywhere? No, you still have to get in there, you still have to make the food, you still have to bring in the customers, you still have to make sure everything happens. So there is still obviously work involved. So similarly, I would say what's offered here is like a franchise. They've given you so many things. They've given you so many, all these systems. So the word that you hear often, as you said, is automation, right? That is because it's really the tools to help
Mhm.
you to help get a lot of the work done so that you don't have to manually do that. Now that's not the entire thing. I'd say, 80, 90% of the business is driven through this kind of automation plus all the training they give you. But every day I spend no less than, I would say I still spend about 2 hours a day on the business. I do my day job, and when I'm done, I have time for the family. Then, right about now is the time where in the evening between 9 to 11 p.m., I try to find some time to sit down, once the children are going to bed. And then at that point, then I try to sit down and do spend some time on this business. And it's more than sufficient to spend that amount of time, right? And what you put in, only the more you put in, the more you're going to get as an output. So that's really what it comes down to, but you have to still do work, definitely.
Yes. Yes, definitely. That's very, very important. We need to let them know the fact that we're saying it's automated does not mean you don't do nothing. You don't do anything. How can you build a business doing nothing? Doing nothing
Yeah,
means you don't get anything. You just go and sit down and expect people to come to you. No, you follow the training. The training is what you have to do to get the people to come. And then once
yeah,
you get them to come, it follows from there. Thank you so much,
yeah.
so much.
I was gonna say,
This is
this is not an investment, right? So this is not, you bought a house and now it'll just accumulate, in equity, or you bought a stock and you just watch it from a distance and and hope it rises. This is not what that is. You have to put in the effort. It is a business. So that's what you're running
yes.
here.
I like that. Like you said, it's a business. We keep saying business owners because we have to emphasize the fact that it's a business and we can't treat it like a job. A job, you go, you do whatever they tell you, whatever, get your pay. But a business can take time and it take patience as well. But once you get everything set up and it's running, that's it. You can go there's no limits like a
Exactly.
job where they will limit you. This is your pay. Whether you get a pay rise or not. Recently in the news, my fellow nurses are, going on strike because they're asking for
Oh,
pay rise. But in this job, you go as far as you want to go. Anyway, that's so good. And you mentioned, I don't, before you go, you mentioned one more thing, like sometimes you only spend 2 hours just on the business because you have other things to do. That is what I want you to emphasize on, that this business is for anyone. It doesn't matter how busy you are. If you have an hour a day,
that's
even to just scroll, sit at home and just go on the website, different social media, just going through, browsing through, you can be using that 1 hour a day to run your business. So you don't really need that much, do you?
No, that's exactly it. And there are days where obviously I don't have time. Maybe, like on the weekends, I'm out a lot, running errands, shopping, and other duties that we have to do that we never have time on weekdays. And, but that's it, right? I could be just sitting and waiting in the car while the wife has run into a shop, and then I'll just, I'll get on my smartphone, and immediately then I'll sit there and then start responding or doing a few things that I need to do, which I may do at home, right? It doesn't matter, because as long as you have access to the web, that's really all you need, and that
Oh,
is
yeah.
more than enough for you to accomplish and run your business. And I just want to put a disclaimer, everyone, right? Like, this is like, please understand, again, when we keep stressing this is a business, it
Yes.
is, because this is not a quick rich, scheme or anything like that. It's nothing like that. You have to have patience, you have to build the foundation, and then once you've done that, then slowly the business will come and you'll start making that money, right? So just like anything else that you start, even if it's, you open your own clothing store in a shopping mall, you're not going to start making it, you're not going to start killing it in the first few days. It'll take you time. But eventually, it will happen. And that's the kind of mindset and the patience that you need. You have to understand it's a business, but in the long run, you'll be pleased, for making that decision.
All right. Yeah, I'm pleased. I did make that decision. I'm loving it. The time and the freedom, the stress-free life. I'm so happy. I can every day I'm like, oh, every day I'm looking even more beautiful because there's less stress. Anyway, thank you so much, Kashi, for coming. What will be your final words? Because I know we've gone past 30 minutes. What will be your final words to our viewers, especially the men, for them to know that men are all, there are so many men in our community group for them to
So,
join.
so for the men, so first thing I want to say is, if you're chasing the corporate ladder and you really believe that, you got to get that title and whatever that salary that comes with it is the all, I mean, like, that's the ends of all, like, if that's really what you believe, then there's not much we can do for you. Then go ahead and enjoy that life. But I can clearly tell you, I've already been there, and that life, as great as it, maybe it's great, but the bottom line is there's so much more that's so much better. And so for me, I've definitely recognized that, and I've seen, every profession, I've seen everything under it, and I can simply tell you that once you can easily make more than what you're earning. That's all I'm going to say. You can easily make more than what you earn right now, all from home or wherever in the world you want to work, and just for a few hours a day. So in the past, and let me just say this, if I want, because I'm a consultant, I'm actually a consultant. So then when I take time off, I don't get paid for my vacation days. But now, if I want to go on vacation, my business is going to pay for me, because this is this is the supplemental income or the second income. If
Yeah.
I have a project and that project ends, or if my contract ends, that's okay, because I still have this running in the
Business.
background, earning for me as well. So there's a lot of flexibility, guys. And, so don't think of it as, that, no, this is for women. It's not. I can, once you enter the community, you will find people of all lives, of all backgrounds, of all professions, even a doctor. Like, so,
Yes.
I will introduce you to everybody if you needed it, right? Like, so the community is there. So I simply say that if you really want change, guys, then all I can say is watch that webinar and think about it, and and all I can say is, it's changed many lives, and I'm sure it would do the same for you as well.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kashif. Thank you for coming, honoring my invitation and coming on my page to just talk to my viewers. Thank you so much. I will not take too much of your time. I know it's night in Canada, so I will let you go. Thank you so much. And that's this is one of the things I like about this business. I never knew you, but with this business, and now I know. I'm like, my world is getting bigger and bigger. I'm getting to know so many people, and it's just so amazing. There are so
It's
many
it's
nice,
it's incredible.
nice, amazing people out there that you never come across. But with this business, it just opens so much up to me. And I'm meeting you, and it's so good. Thank you so much. You were going to
Uh,
say something.
it is my honor to be here. So thank you for the invitation.
Okay, I'll let you go then. You can say bye to our viewers.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. All right, viewers, thank you so much. So, like you've heard, if you have any questions, you can direct message me, or you can head straight to our website and put your name and email address to get the webinar to you. That is the starting point. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you, Leopold. Thank you, Genevieve. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Juliet. All right, bye.